Before we get the hook, very quickly, would you, as a senator, still vote to repeal Obamacare?
Absolutely. The Affordable Care Act's not working. I do think we need to keep pre-existing conditions in line. I do think we need to eliminate the caps. I do think we need to make sure our children, by the way, keeping your children on your plan until 26 was a Republican idea, not a Democrat idea. I do think we need to keep all that in place. We need to continue to work together. We have ideas that we can fix it, but here's the problem with Obamacare right now. Best example is I can give you my sister. My sister has the affordable, by the way, so do I. I have the Affordable Care Act. My premiums went up so high, and thank goodness that I can afford it. My sister can't. So my sister is barely making her premium. She's one of those working poor. We did take care of the people who were needed, and I'm a big supporter of that. Medicaid should be around for the indigent, the elderly, the children, the disabled. I'm a big believer in that. But at the same time, we have to now look at that middle group, that mom who has 2 children and her husband. They're all working and they can't afford the premiums. And even though they can squeeze enough money to pay the premiums, they can't afford the deductible. So they don't have health insurance because they don't have access. My sister's a perfect example. She's had to pass on surgeries because she can't afford the deductible. That's not a healthcare system we want or need. We do want people to have healthcare, but we have to have people not only have healthcare, but they have to have access. So we need to change it. We need to put a model in that allows for the poorest of poor to be taken care of, but also competition to be available so the premiums come down so people can afford health insurance. Washington is all about having a one-size-fits-all. It doesn't work. The one-size-fits-all model doesn't work. But we can make it work. And that's why I've passed bills, whether it was on health care to try and change it. I've contacted the president. Let me give you another example. And I still remember when my closest friend, John Carney, a Democrat from Delaware, who's now the governor of Delaware, by the way, went on the House floor to try and change something on the Affordable Care Act, and the Democrats were opposing him. He called me and asked me to come down. I went down on the House floor to try and help him defend a simple issue on the Affordable Care Act. And you know what the Democrats were saying at that time? We can't change anything, because if we change one thing, they're going to want to change it all. Shame on that whole situation. Let's work together to fix things. Let's make sure we have health care that's not only, by the way, it's not the Affordable Care Act, it's the Unaffordable Care Act for that mom who's barely making ends meet, and that dad and mom who are working together trying to take care of their children. Let's make sure there's health care that's available and affordable.